Stardust then unfolds his tubular spatial, and the bodiless Destructo is whisked into space. You tried to destroy the heads of a great nation, so your own head shall be destroyed. Look, Destructo, we're nearing the space pocket of living death, where the headless headhunter dwells. He's the hugest giant in the universe.
Have mercy! Stardust, please have mercy on me! Help! Help!
Farewell forever, killer.
Hello. I'm Joey Peters, a writer, cartoonist, and beauty contest champion, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Super Wizard Returns.
Okay, history lesson. Back in the 1930s, comic books became huge business. You had your strange visitors from other planets, you had your dark nighttime vigilantes, you had your... Tim? And this was before anyone was paying attention. If you could draw the pages, the packagers would pay for them, so some weird characters crept in. Super drag queens, child royalty with kaiju golems, sexy lady skeleton monsters. There's a few of those. Billionaire industrialist superhero lumberjacks. Those two for some reason. But we're here to talk about the Super Wizard Stardust. Created by Fletcher Hanks, Stardust is a sadistic alien god that has come to Earth to mete out, frankly, bizarre justice. He taunts gangsters with the skeletons of their victims, he mutates communists into rat monsters, he feeds criminals to an octopus. He strands a lot of villains on alien planets for some reason.
Stardust is weird and vengeful, and to me the most compelling character from the so-called golden age of comics. As luck would have it, nobody in 1940 could imagine anyone in 2016 would care even in the slightest about Stardust, so he, and a lot of other characters from that era, have fallen into the public domain. That means nobody owns them. That means everybody owns them.
That's where I enter the story. About 5 years ago, I produced a comic called Attack of the Super Wizards. It was a series of short stories meant to explain how Stardust would have evolved through the history of comic books, from the Golden Age, Silver Age, all the way up to today. After that, I produced a graphic novel featuring one of Fletcher Hanks' other creations, World's Greatest Lumberjack. It was an attempt to create a complete superhero world in about 100 pages. I've already told the story of Stardust's past, so now it's time to tell the incredible tale of his future, and that is the Super Wizard Returns.
Super Wizard Returns is my new original graphic novel that continues the legacy of Stardust. He left Earth in 1941 following his original adventures to show his human consort Rosemary the wonders of the universe. In a decade since then, he's picked up bits and pieces of her tiny human perspective, and she has grown bored and homesick. So now the time has come for them to return to the Earth, to face the consequences of what Stardust did unthinkingly decades ago, and to forge a new future.
Along the way, Stardust will meet many allies and enemies from his past. Obviously, there's Rosemary, a human woman he whisked away from Earth decades ago. Sunspot is the last survivor of Stardust's child army, the Sixth Column. And his old nemesis, UB, a communist mad scientist that Stardust transformed into a rat monster, has been kept alive by the vain hope that he can defeat the Super Wizard, if ever he returns to our world. Stardust and Rosemary will meet new friends and foes alike, such as Violet McLean, a businesswoman driven to undo the damage Stardust did to human history, and Tariq Washington, a teenager pulled into events cosmically outside his control. And if you're worried that this new version won't live up to the mad energy of the original stories, here's a brief sequence. Hello, I've seen your nation, I know your crimes. Do not bother to struggle. It will do you as much good as your subjects. You face the justice of Stardust.
The comic already exists. This Kickstarter is for a print edition like pretty much every other comics Kickstarter.
As far as rewards go, there are PDFs, not just of the Super Wizard Returns, but of my previous graphic novels. Then there's the print edition, obviously. Beyond that, there's a set of trading cards commemorating the strangest characters of the Golden Age of comics. Finally, at the upper echelons, there's original art and commissions.
Thank you for watching. Please help me bring back the strangest character from comic book history.